What's going on? Matt Rides here, and as you just saw, I squidded out in the first 2 seconds of this trail, which turned out to be one heck of a trail. Here you can see I'm struggling up this section here. This is right after I got my bike up. I had to get some momentum. It was raining out this day, and this trail was gnarly, and I absolutely loved it. So I'm riding the KTM 300 2019 model TPI, all stock motor, all stock clutch system, oversized tank, a few little protective pieces on the bike, but basically an all stock bike. And we found this trail, and this machine just ate it up. I mean, this is what this bike is made for, and these are the kinds of trails that I absolutely just love. So ripping up this, can't really tell, but it's a little bit of an uphill, but there's a lot of rocks, a lot of obstacles, a lot of switchbacks that you're gonna see throughout this trail. It was an absolute blast to ride. So this is a Northern California trail in perfect condition. So it was slick, it's been sprinkling on and off, it rained a couple times, so you know the weather was perfect because the sun was out this time, but it rained a little bit earlier. So slick and fun and challenging, and you know, slow technical climbs. And this is exactly what I search for when I'm out on my bike. This is the kind of terrain that I love to ride, even though it kicks my ass and you know, it shows me who's boss. I may think that I'm good on the bike, but ride something like this and you go, whoa, you got some learning to do, or you got some exercising to do. So sit back, take a ride with me. I'll chime in as see permitted, but this was a fun Northern California trail. So let's go. This trail was so epic. So we started it out, and there was 4 of us that started this trail. There was 2 of us that finished this trail. You know, they started going up. One guy said, I'm turning back. One guy was actually up in front of us, and he got up and he goes, you know, a little bit, and he goes, oh my goodness, there's no trail. Comes back, there's no trail here, guys. We go, yeah, no, there's a trail. Oh no, man, there's no trail. It dead ends. It's crazy. I don't know who would ride this. And we just met this guy randomly, and so we didn't know him, but he came back and he's telling us this, and then we're going, no, it's a trail, just follow us. And he goes, no, well, you know what, I burned my clutch up, I can't even do it, I only have half tank of gas, and you know what, I'm just gonna turn back around. So in the first 10 minutes it claimed 2 victims, and rightfully so, because as you can see, you know, this is gnarly. The GoPro probably doesn't do this justice, but this is pretty steep going down. It's rutted. You have, you know, rocks dropping off a foot or so. So, you know, you're at a pretty steep angle on your front forks, on your front handlebars. But it was just a blast. And we're coming down to a little creek crossing. And we just had a really, really good time riding this trail. Right here, we're coming up to this creek, and I'm looking at it, and this trail, I mean, you can't tell, but this hill's pretty steep, coming down and coming up, but it goes straight up with no run up because it has a drop into it, and then it has a rock that you got to kind of like go over. So hit it, and then right here you had to kind of pivot turn and go over it. Oh man, it was awesome. So that was a good one. Here's my buddy Derek doing it. So I walked down as he came up, and he just cleaned it, made it look super simple.
Attaboy.
So back on it again. You'll see cuts like that. It's just me turning my camera off, turning my camera back on, but it's pretty much the majority of the trail. But yeah, look at this thing. It's just awesome trail. me hesitating, going, did is this a trail? Thinking about that guy that just turned back around because it's steep, it's rutted, and I'm going, okay, is this the way we go? Going through another creek here, and it's not marked, nothing's marked, and you're just kind of finding your way through. But it was a blast. So a little muddy, like I said, it had been raining. It started sprinkling on us as we're going up this, so you'll see some water drops on my lens here. Apologize for that going forward, but not too bad. I tried to do a good job of wiping it, but it's hard when you can barely hold onto your bike. So right here, this is fully lack of commitment as I was going up. That's all that was, lack of commitment. I should have just pinned it from the bottom, but I was getting tired. My arm pump was setting in here, and but we were able to get around this. And right here, there's another little side trail up to a little pivot turn. Yeah, it was just good. I mean, this is steep stuff. It's slick. It's been raining. It was a fun trail. By this time, I could barely hold on to the bike. My clutch hand was just throbbing. I mean, you're on the clutch, you're feathering that thing as you're going through this, and it was just burning. And you're earning this, and you're having to hop over these roots, and it's just back and forth, and you're in first gear, lucky to hit second gear for me anyways, my riding level. But I absolutely loved it. There's a section coming up, and I got through it, and I was like, I don't know how I got through this section. It was absolutely just rocks going straight up, but I made it, and I was super proud. These are the kinds of things right here. This section is just gnarly coming up. As we're going up this hill, just doesn't really give it justice in the GoPro, but it's a gnarly little climb that we're going up here. And it's rocked, and it's going up, and yeah, you're climbing, you're going, oh my goodness, you're running out of energy. It's fun. So another thing is all these branches just adds to the excitement of the trail. You got to watch out, make sure you're not running into trees or branches. And you can see it's raining, and so the goggles are fogging up. And this section right here, I mean, this is good riding. It's going uphill. Oh man, I love it. So very, very challenging when you get the weather and you get the goggles fogged up, and you got to take them off, and it's dangerous. And it's like, okay, I can't see, or I got to worry about my goggles not being on. So we had to deal with that. So I kept them on as much as possible, but sometimes just couldn't keep them on. So we just chugged right through and took our time and went slow and just enjoyed the hell out of this trail. going down this, you can't tell, but I mean, it's steep going down, and you're dealing with rocks, and it's fun, man. I'm watching this back going, man, the GoPro just doesn't do this justice. At this time, my forearms were on fire. I was huffing and puffing, and this was really just kicking my butt. And we're coming to another creek crossing, and you know, I mean, this is for me anyways, challenging little trail, and it was fun, man. I loved it. It was very rewarding coming up stuff like this, and you know, trying to make it. And unfortunately, I think on this one I get stuck, but tried my best, and you know, next time we'll prevail. But it was a fun trail right here. I was, whoa, those roots, and it was slick. So yeah, man, I loved it. My arms were on fire, could barely hold the bike up at this point, but we chugged along, and it was an absolute blast completing this, and it was so rewarding to complete this trail. This section right here, I don't know how I made it without stalling the bike. I mean, it had rocks, and you're jumping up. I mean, some of these were a foot tall, and it was pretty damn steep. I got to the top here, and oh man, I was like, whoa, I don't know how I made that, but you know, just kept the momentum going and knocked it out. And so just kept continuing on. It was just me and my buddy Derek at this point, and we were meeting the guys at the other side of this. They went around, and we were just fighting our way through, just loving it, just being fulfilled, because it was such a great trail that challenged all of our skill sets. Right here, I gotta apologize, guys. The SIM card on my GoPro completely failed, and I don't get the rest of the trail. So unfortunately, this is only halfway through. I'll have to go back and do it again, but this was definitely one for the books. I was recording on a GoPro 7 with the stabilization, and as you can see, you got the raindrops, but it was a fun day. Hope you guys have a great day. Take care.